So this is a fair value gap that caused this drop here. I don't know why some people are having issues joining. I'll talk about that later. I'm still waiting for some people to join. Still waiting for them to join. I don't want to be going back and front. Don't worry, I'll wait for them. I'll wait for them that are coming in. We have only 1 hour 30 minutes to use, and we've already spent 20 minutes out of the 1 hour 30 minutes. So we still have like 1 hour 10 minutes. So we'll wait for them. David Abraham, welcome. So this morning we had a little bit of bearish movement, and I was also keeping my eyes on the 4 hours here. So we had this fair value gap. You see how it reacted nicely to the low, the 4 hours low of this fair value gap here. This is a fair value gap here to here. Have you seen that? This distance here, that there is no wick. This middle area, this middle part here, that you don't see any wick. That's a fair value gap. So the low here. So the fair value gap low here, you see how it reacted nicely. And one thing you should always be observant about the characteristics of how candlesticks behave when once it gets to a fair value gap is that you will not see anybody painting outside the fair value gap. It's only the wick that will go outside it. So that's one of the characteristics of how candlesticks behave in a fair value gap. So before we started, I pointed out this 1 hour fair value gap. You see how now price is respecting that. So I think this will give us a good opportunity if we want to buy in the 1 minute time frame. And we are trading time first before price, all right? So you should be very conscious of time. You should be very conscious of time. So now every other thing here is very, very insignificant to us. So we delete that. So let's go to the 1 minute. So right in the 1 minute, like I used to take some trades and you ask how I do it. So now here I'll feel very comfortable to buy. Why? Because it's in time. I don't know if you get, and it has started breaking highs. Okay. So I'm very, very comfortable from there to start buying if I want to buy. Okay. Very comfortable from there to start buying. So this is more like the moving average phantom now. So we see that it was coming down. Let me use a trend line stop. So you see it was coming down here, like assume, then a high has been broken here, and inside way a 1 hour fair value gap. Also, we see that a 4 hour fair value gap was sponsoring higher prices ever since. So we're looking at it coming to this buy side liquidity here. This buy side liquidity. Whatever I'm saying here is also applicable to currency pairs, right? So we also have this fair value gap here. So you know where we are targeting, right? You should know where we are targeting by now. Bullish. So is a buy side liquidity here. So my stop will be right below this low, and my take profit will be above here. Okay, David, you raised your hand. That will be my take profit. But you can as well keep it below this fair value gap. But since you're not really acquainted with how this movement goes here, so you can keep it below this low here. So we are looking at it coming right to this buy side liquidity, resting above there. So this is more like a live trade I'm doing with you guys. Can you hear me? Just type, if you have a question. If you have a question, you can type. But you understand the analysis we just did, right? Like you understand why I took that buy. All right, guys, you still want to see it push higher. Yeah, so we had a fair value gap here. You seen that fair value gap there. So if you add your moving average phantom to this chart, David Abraham, I see your hands up. And Precious, your hand is also up. Okay, so just drop your question in the chat, like the chat, you see a place for chat, drop your questions there. So this movement here has already given me enough confidence that this is not going to come back to this fair value gap here. So I can shift my stop loss right below that fair value gap. Let me see. Can you hear very well? Like, can you hear very clearly now? Can you hear me very clearly now? So also we now have a new fair value gap here. We have this small fair value gap here. So I'm also keeping an eye on that. Have that small fair value gap. But it will make more sense if it doesn't come there and it just start going up to that buy side liquidity we have resting above there. Right, so this me more like doing it live with you guys. So okay, Max, you can hear me loud and clear. So okay. So this live price, me calling it live here with you guys. The people that are not here are really missing out. They are missing out. So we'll write this move higher, higher, and higher. So let's see what we have in the 15 minutes. Let me see where we can get. So let's just target this buy side first, but we still have buy side resting above here. Still have buy side liquidity resting above here. Buy side. All right, just drop your question in the chat session. Okay, Nicholas, I see you. I see you. Mr. Precious, I see your hands. Like you can just drop it in the chat. Okay. Okay, I've seen your question. Yes, I have a question about time and price. You said something about we are trading time. Now, no, I said we are trading time before price. Time before price. Do you understand? I said time before price. So we are very conscious of a timing first. We don't just jump in because we've seen a trade. We are very conscious of the timing. Why this is happening is that um the market is programmed, like it is scheduled to a time, right? So you see the most significant moves and your setup will play out very well when you have a time-based analysis and narrative backed up to it. So here, as I told you, okay, for those that were not here earlier before I started, let me show you. So I set my time to New York time. So I want to be in sync with people that are in New York, like USA, because they are world power, obviously. And so the chart, that's price, will be moving in their time. It is scheduled, guys. So like this trade here, I did the analysis here with you guys and I showed you why I wanted it to go to, and you've seen how it is going right to that place. Why? Because this stuff is scheduled, like there's an algorithm running behind it. So once it is its time to move, it will move the direction. You analyzed it. You just need to have a sound narrative that backed it up. And I explained that we have a 4 hours low here. It was respecting in the morning. And now we have a 1 hour fair value gap here. This is a 1 hour fair value gap here. You see how we cut that bias right to that. So if you had taken that trade, you should be in massive profit. So let me show you in the group. I took it by myself here. Let me show you. So anybody, so you understand, ba? You understand, right? Do you understand? If you understand this, the moving average phantom will not be hard for you to understand too, because it's still built on this stuff too. Okay, so I'll drop a picture now of the trade in the group. So that's it. I was still watching this trade, so I did not want to miss it because I wanted to take it in my account too. So that's why I decided to also share the trade idea with you guys. So as I'm taking it, you can also see how it is. So I've done a trade here. So okay, Mustafa, you have a question. You just type it. I'll answer it. Just type your question. Okay, I should come again with the time. Plutonian Petrus. Okay, Petrus. All right, the timing is about you don't want to trade when people are sleeping, right? So in USA right now, they will not be sleeping this time. They will be working. So this around, when did we do this trade? We did this trade around 10:23. That's 10:23. That's when we did the trade. So we know that they'll really be active here. So if we found this setup somewhere here, I would have still been comfortable to take it because it's still that time. Even though I found the setup here around this area here, I would have still been comfortable to take the trade because it is in their time. This price is scheduled, all right. So, but this period of time, it did not come right to a fair value gap we wanted it to come to. So I wanted to see it come to that fair value gap, that period of time. Once it did that, I was very comfortable to taking the buys. All right. So once I have a setup in mind, I wait for the timing. I cannot just jump in and take it in a random time. So this 8:30 here, this 8:30, that's 2:30 Nigerian time. We had high impact news, a red folder news. So I had expected it to take out some highs though, and also drop right to the fair value. I expect to see it, but it did not come as fast as that. but it later came to the 1 hour fair value gap. Let me show you 1 hour fair value gap. I don't know why this thing is not going inside. Go inside now. I don't know why it is not folding. It should fold. All right, so I watched the news take they took price to this for 1 hour fair value gap. I watched it take it there. Then I also watched it drop right to that place. So I had anticipated it should drop to this fair value gap. I marked this fair value gap from when it formed around I think around 11 a.m. or so, 10, 11 a.m. Nigerian time. So I marked it out. I was expecting to see it come right here. At least I can take the price from New York. So this is a bullish fair value gap here. So I had expected that. So once it reached this fair value gap, we're already in the webinar, like the webinar here. So I told you guys that I was watching a trade. So I had to do it here with you guys at once because I needed to take it in my account. Two, so if you want to trade pace like this, US 100, you need to use a pro account, all right? You need to use a pro account, and FBS also offers that. So because a pro account, you have a reduced spread because the spread with this kind of pace is very massive and the volatility is incredible out of this world. Yeah. So you have any other question? Let's go right into. All right, so now we have this. I don't want to see it come lower. We have this 1 hour fair value gap here. Have this 1 hour fair value gap here. I want to see just push right to that buy side there. I took this trade right in my live account here. I think I have a new. All right, so targeting this buy side here. I think I have a question here. No question. I've already. I hope you can hear me now. It's clear now. Okay, we're almost reaching our target. So you should know by now why we took this trade. You know this more like we can call it a trend line phantom, a moving average phantom, whatever. Because let me try adding our moving average here. Let me see what we get here. Exactly. So for the moving average phantom, as I had explained earlier, it should be the moving average phantom. You trade it in time too, because price is scheduled. You don't just trade it randomly. So you see how the candlesticks are below the moving average here. The candlesticks are below the moving average. Once it gets to the 1 hour fair value gap, and you see how it has taken out people that were selling here, that were using sell stop here. Like people were placing stuff because of the CLD is dripping, sell, 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 sell. So they want to also place their sell stops here. So they start putting on their sell stop. But luckily, they will be in profit. People that started selling, putting their sell stop here. People that started still putting their sell stop here will also still be in profit. But once we get above the moving average, have you seen that? And it started taking out these highs here. And also, you will notice, you see, it is this candlestick here that took out this high. So this is literally a breaker here. This is a breaker block if you've been following. That's why I'm saying that if you understand this, the moving average phantom will be quite easy. I'm trying to put this stuff back inside. So it got so close to our buy side and it's fairly. So once it spiked up, took out this high here, that is a shift in market structure. It created a fair value gap, came back right in that fair value gap, and we took the buys right there. I think a few people were there to see when I took the buys. Okay, so where it is currently at now is that 1 hour fair value gap. 1 hour fair value gap. So you see, I'm watching if it takes out this low, but it should not do that. It should not do that. I'll not be comfortable if it does that. I just want to see it use this fair value gap and spike up. I hope you understand the concepts, the logic behind this trade. Like this, a practical moving average phantom here. I've done with you guys. Still watching that, and you see how it came to this fair value gap here. Have this fair value gap here. So this is me doing more like the breeding with you guys. I hope you're enjoying the reading session and practical of the moving average phantom is how it is real life in its most simplest form. All right, we're still waiting for that buy side to just click in and go to another thing. So remember, this is a breaker here. This would have been another entry, like once a fair value gap and a breaker. Why is this a breaker? Because this is the high that made this lower low. So a high, a lower low, shifting market structure. You take that breaker. That's a breaker block there. All right, so we have that. So planning to do this on our YouTube channel, like trading live, like this. Call out the trade, analyze, and what I think. And if I'm taking the trade, you can also take it. Okay. So this is a boring stuff, right? It's like it repeats every time. It gets boring as you get to see it over time. So you should just train your eyes to see this. So this is the moving average phantom. I believe that you understand this moving average phantom now. So for the moving average settings, like we use the moving average settings. So we have a style here. We use I use the 35. Doesn't matter, but you need to be 35 to 50. All right, so you can use 35 to 50. Okay, 50. If you use 50, it's still okay. Listen, it's still okay. So you need to be around 35 to 50. You're okay. Right. You see how price is really struggling to get to that buy side there. Really, really struggling. But it should do that in a few moments. So if you get this moving average phantom, you'll be like Robin Hood. That steals from. Okay, I think I have a question here. Yes, David Abraham is a live trade. I took it on my account. I've posted it in a group. You can check it. It's a live trade I took. I just hope you understand the strategy too. All right, buy side booked very soon. Very, very, very soon. So we have, I came back to this fair value gap here. See how price came back. This stuff is an algorithm. If you just understand the movement, you've gotten it. It's as cheap as that. Very simple logic. You don't need to be selling when people are selling. You don't need to be buying when people are buying. You just need to try to do the opposite of what everybody is doing. Like, for example, the moving average phantom, you are trying to do the opposite of what people that are trading with the moving average does. So if they are planning to take a sell, us, we are planning a buy. So easy, we are doing the opposite of that. So we want to see the buy side now booked. So as I told you guys, we still have a buy side resting above here, but we are taking this simple one here first. And you can already see how difficult it is to get to that. Another question. What currency pair? Okay. You can actually take this on any currency pair of your choice. To still the same thing, but I'll advise you stay on Euro USD, GBP USD, and USD JPY. Also US 100 and US 500. This strategy will work perfectly there. Do you understand? So to everybody that participated in the webinar, so you just hope you're in the group, the other text group, not a class. So if you're in the group, you just drop your number. So we'll be doing a giveaway for some of you. But don't allow the giveaway to make you overexcited. Like this strategy I'm already giving out is an ATM machine already for you to be cashing out every day. That's another question. Okay. For the currency pairs, I advise you trade Euro USD with this strategy, GBP USD, and US 500, US 100. So you can check it out. You need to train your eyes to get used to this. Like you need to be able to see this setup happen every time. It happens every time on the chart. Happens every time. Let me check for another example. That will soon get booked. Yeah. Sorry, that. All right. It's easy as that. You see how we just matched TP with simple logic. So you know the logic that was behind that. I explained it from A to Z. So this is the moving average phantom presented right to you guys. By now, you people should be cashing out with this. I'm just doing all this for free. not charging any amount of money or something. So I already told you that we have buy side resting above here, that we should reach for that pretty soon. Yeah. So that's where price is going to next. Remember, the trade was built on this 1 hour fair value gap. All right. I think now I should give it some speed, but I'm really watching this 1 hour fair value gap. It might really be a strong resistance for it, but then I don't want to see it respect that. I want to see it go straight to that buy side there, straight to this buy side here. So it is as easy as that, guys. Identify your fair value gap and watch how it goes right through your buy side. You're trying to do the opposite. Another question. All right, the YouTube trading session, we can only start YouTube live from our mobile phone because we are at 50 subscribers. So, but that's still a good thing. But it will not be as perfect as this Zoom meeting for now. But if we still can get to 1,000 subscribers, let's say by the end of the year, so we'll start the live session. But I'll still be doing some live trades on YouTube too with you guys. But I hope you are in the group, like the tech script group. Yeah, it is recorded. It is recorded. I will post it on the Telegram group, but I'll need to work on it, like edit it, cut out some parts because some parts I was still fixing some technical stuff and also trying to wait for you guys. No problem, no problem. You're welcome. No, you don't apologize for multiple questions. It's only a fool that will not ask questions. Anybody that seeks to be wise will always ask questions. So it's a good thing to ask questions, okay? So you don't need to be apologetic for that. All right, so this was quite interesting today. I hope people have really learned. So we've reached our buy side. Let me see what we get here. As I said that we are driving right to this bicep that is resting above here. Sorry about that. This here. So we use that fair value gap there. So it's going for this buy side next. Am I loud enough? It's going for this buy side here next. Let me try and hold this stuff down. It is a breaker here, remember. So let me add another stuff for you for the moving average phantom. So what validates a moving average phantom is when it has a breaker. All right. So you can take that too. So as you can see here, once it got above here, and you see that is a lower low, and we have a high here. They broke this high. So this is a breaker here, came right into it. And we have a fair value gap. Also watch if the breaker has a fair value gap too. Fair value gap came right into it and boom, and you see the move there. So I'll drop the recording in the Telegram channel. So it will be in the Telegram channel for you guys. Yeah, I already mentioned it. Euro USD, US 100. I like US 100 now. One of the reasons I'm not trading Euro USD this period, you can see how it is staying too long, except today that it did a very massive bullish move. It was staying too long in between two fair value gaps, and I did not like that. I did not like that at all. And if I tried trading that, I would have gotten impulsive and I would have lost a lot of money. I prefer something that will just give me one move at a time. If I'm wrong, just hit my SL. If I'm right, just move it profit for me. So that's it. So this is why I'm trading the US 100 for now. So it also works perfectly here. And this is a gentleman's market. Like it gives you one direction in a blink of the eye. So we have this fair value gap here now. And there's also a volume imbalance here. For those of you, maybe I'll point it out much later. So that's a fair value gap. We should use that to go higher. So yes, so that we'll shout booked. And a perfect broker to trade this pair is FBS. Trust me. If you try using XNES, you'll be seeing so much spread, except you're doing a proprietary firm account. But if you're doing your personal money and you're using a broker, you should use FBS. All right, I will post the link now. Anonymous attendee, just chat me on this number. I'll add you up to text script. So if you want to join text script, chat me up with that number, the phone number on your screen now. Check the chat session, you see phone number, you chat me up, I'll add you up to text script. Alright, to see how it's respecting the high of this 1 hour fair value gap here. But I want to see it really disrespect that. I don't like to see respect that now. I want to see it reach for that buy side. Well, remember, as I said, that this 1 hour fair value gap can act as a strong resistance to it. Just chat me up. I've dropped this my phone number here. Send me a message now. This is my phone number here, 07016022 Just chat me up now on WhatsApp. No, US 100 and US 500 is not the same thing. They are not the same thing. They are very different stuff. Very, very different stuff. So since it has not taken out this fair value gap, so still want to see it stay above that and take it right to the buy side liquidity. So any other question? Yeah, give it will be in the group. Just drop your account. But this strategy is already a giveaway. How to calculate pips on US 100. All right. So that's a very, very different topic here entirely. Calculating pips here. You need to just um be in sync with the measurement, like using your lot size. Okay. Frame between point and handle and pip. So 5 handles is equivalent to 10 pips. So it's like more like half. So when you're saying handles, point is still pips. Point is still the same thing as pips too. So but handle is a little bit different. So 5 handles is equivalent to 10 pips. So 20 handles is equivalent to 40 pips. That's how it is. David Abraham, I've dropped my number. You will see my phone number here. Let me drop it again in case you want to chat me. Chat me on WhatsApp. I will add you to the community. David Abraham, that's the phone number. Have you seen it? Have you seen it? That's the phone number. Okay. Which broker are you using? It depends on the broker you're using. See my phone number here now. This is my phone number. This is my phone number here, 070160225657. That's my phone number there. Which one? Which is a fake move? Which one is a fake move there? You mean it's coming down here? Let's see. You might just use the low of this fair value gap, low of this fair value gap, and go higher. You made it today. David Ebra, my phone number is up there, 070160225657. Okay, hold on, let me check what the problem is. Okay, you see my phone number now. All right, that's my phone number. Have you seen it now? Moving average phantom. And I am the author. That's the name of the strategy. All right, so you just sent a message. That's my phone number. So I'm still watching if it's confluence for entry. I already explained that. Now. You'll see it in the video. It is recorded, so I'll just work on it and post it on the Telegram channel for you. All right, David Abraham, I've seen your messages. Just go back to the Zoom. I'll add you up to the group later. So you see how it's still staying here. Still staying here. So I still want to see it move to that buy side there. You see how it respected. I told you one characteristic of a fair value gap that it is going to be a fair value gap that is going to be used, okay, like that is going to start respecting itself is that you see how the body of the candlesticks will be painting inside the fair value gap, but the wicks can go outside, but the bodies will never close outside. I don't know if you get me. You see how it is here. You painted this is a 1 hour fair value gap. So I want to see now reach for that buy side. You know that this now has become a new buy side here, but that is really insignificant to me. I want to see it reach for this 15 minutes buy side here. The Telegram link will be in the group. The Telegram link will be in the group. So now we have a fair value gap here. I likely come to that and respect it. Okay, let's watch that. Just want to see it use that fair value gap, go above that. So you see how it wicked, like the body painted outside, then but it did not close. So it only created a wick there. So we want to see it from there, start going higher. I just hope people are learning. Okay, I should recap. Okay, I will do that. So you see how I painted outside that. Yeah. So came back to this fair value gap low. So let's see how it behaves there. It's going to go outside. So you see how it invalidates this fair value gap here. So it has invalidated that. Okay. So you see how strong the 1 hour fair value gap is. So you see how it is rejecting lower now. So it is rejecting lower from this 1 hour fair value gap. It does not really matter if it has been used before. You just keep your eyes on it to see if it will react to it. All right. So now we have that in the 1 minute. We have that in the 1 minute. You see how these highs here have been taken out. And you see this high here taken out, and this is a breaker now. This is a breaker. So it will make more sense now if it starts moving for the sell side. So if you have any question, you can ask. We'll soon be coming to the end of this webinar. So you see how it has taken out this low here, also taken out this. So it's very salient that we keep our eyes on this. All right, so you have any question? Any question at all? So the topic here today was why, how to knowing the market order flow. Knowing the market order flow, which we've done that live with a live market. Like we've done that live with a live market, knowing the market order flow. So this is how we started. For somebody that said I should recap the entry. So I'm going to do it right away again. I should recap the entry. So this is how it is here. The video for this strategy is also on the YouTube channel. For those of you that have not subscribed, also subscribe to that YouTube channel. Let's get to 1,000, guys. So we have the breaker here. So this is the moving average phantom. So 1 hour. Should I clear the chart and start a fresh analysis so you can see? So let me clear my chart. Let me clear my chart here so that you see how we did this. All right, so we have a clean chart here. Let's off the moving average now, so we don't have the moving average here. So full screen. So this is the trade here. So you come to your 1 hour, you look for a fair value gap. So now where do we have the fair value gap? This is the fair value gap here. I hope you're following. You asked me to recap. I'm doing the recap now, the trade recap now. I hope you're just following. Okay, I just hope you're following. Are you still there? All right. So you come to your 1 hour. You come to your 1 hour. When you come to your 1 hour, you find a fair value gap. So we had this fair value gap here. All these will look like high insights now, but people that were here earlier know that we were looking at this. You have this your 1 hour fair value gap. You mark it out. Let's change the color. I like using the blue color for my fair value gap. So let's use blue. So we have this 1 hour fair value gap. We have the 1 hour fair value gap. So we have buy side resting above here. And previously we had a fair value gap here. So I'm also keeping an eye on that. So this is how the price would have looked like, something like this, to look like this. So I marked out this fair value gap here, this one here. Mark it out. So go straight down to the 1 minute. This is a bearish fair value gap. So we have this here. So we go down to the 1 minute and wait for price to come in to that our 1 hour fair value gap. So in our 1 hour fair value gap now, we need to see a moving average phantom. I explained that moving average phantom is the candlesticks need to be below the moving average. Then once you see it spikes up and you see how it is in the fair value gap, 1 hour fair value gap, and you see that clearly it has taken out people that were using buy stops here, and it has put them in so much loss. So once it breaks above this high, so you see this a high, a lower high, lower low, and that's broken that high. So that's a breaker. We have a breaker there. And I said to validate the moving average phantom, the moving average phantom must have a breaker. All right. So if you have any question, you can ask. The moving average phantom must have a breaker. So breaker. The moving average phantom must have a breaker. So we also have a fair value gap here. So if you want to be sure, one of the confluences you can add to your moving average phantom is that once you see a fair value gap and a breaker, so that's a very strong moving average phantom. So we took our buys right when it came into this fair value gap here. I have posted it in the group. So we took our buys here. So where was our target? Now we target the closest buy side liquidity, which we had our buy side liquidity to rest above here. And our TP was here. So I said your stop loss was going to be below the fair value gap. But since we also have a breaker here now, you can keep your stop loss below the breaker. So you see how it is there. So that's the moving average phantom. Do you understand now? Okay, it works. You for the US 30, literally every day we have 8:30 news. So you wait after the 8:30 news. That's 2:30 Nigerian time. You wait after the 8:30 news. After the 8:30 news, you can look for entry for that. Like you can look for how to trade that in that area. Use a higher time frame PDRA. For this to work, you must have a higher time frame premise to back it up. Do you understand that? Any other question? Yeah, I've done that. Set your time to New York time. For those that are just joining, I do set my time to New York time. Let me show you. Set your time. My time is in New York time. Have you seen it? Set your time to New York time. So this 8:30. See, there's a news here, so I'll wait after the news. So it's best to trade from. You start looking for your trades for the moving average phantom from. I don't want to say 7. Let me show you for um so this for London here. So this will be our Nigerian time. This will be 8 o'clock Nigerian time. This 2 o'clock here. So this 2 a.m. New York time will be 8 o'clock Nigerian time. All right. I hope you've gotten that. So this is also the moving average phantom. This was backed with a 15-minute time frame fair value gap. Let's delineate here so you can see it very clearly. This 2 o'clock here, 2 o'clock. So let me delineate that 15 minutes. Is a trade here too. So you can check it from 2 a.m. New York time. We had 2 a.m. New York time and 8:30 after 8:30 New York time. See it here. So 15 minutes. That's a 15 minutes fair value gap. I want to show you for the London. This other one we did for the New York. So this for the London. I don't like trading the London session on display because it does not move too much. So let's see that time. So you see, prior to 2 a.m., we had the candlesticks above the moving average, but it's not really too above like that. But just have it was above, the candlesticks were above. So we now see that displacement that runs away from the 15-minute fair value gap. Then you see how it came close to that 15-minute fair value gap. So here would have been a perfect sell. Yeah, so once it took out this low, so this is a breaker here. So see, this is a breaker. That's a breaker there. Then it also, inside that breaker, we also have a fair value gap. I use the purple rectangle for my breaker and the blue for fair value gap. So we'll be using red in this case. Then our target will be where? Sell side. So this sell side, you see how equal that looks like equal lows back. So that will be our target. So we keep our entry here close to that breaker. Then our stop loss will be below here. Then our TP will be this here. So that's for New York. That was a strategy here for New York, for London, sorry. That was a strategy for London. So same logic. Once it is New York too, you find the same thing, but you need to have a higher time frame fair value gap. And the fair value gap and I think somebody has a question. That's the opening time for ICT queues. But if there is a news, you need to wait after the news. They don't need to be, we don't need to have any red folder news during that period. So it will not have so much impact like that on our trades. All right, so it's really taking so much time to reach for the buy side liquidity, and already we've come to an end of this session. I hope people have really learned. If you've learned, you can drop a thumbs up in the chat session. Let me know. Just ask the question in the group, Maxwell. You can ask your question in the group. Yes, that's when volatility is injected to the market. And we also have 9:30 opening bell. All right, so that's when volatility is injected to it. Yeah, so we need that volatility to actually trade. Yes, after news, if there is any. After news, you need to be able to identify the pattern. We have 2 minutes left to stay. Can you send it? Okay, no problem. I'll send it to the Telegram, in the Telegram channel. You need to join the Telegram channel to have it. So we have 1 minute left. 1 minute. All right. So thank you everybody for coming around. I really enjoy sharing with you guys. Hopefully, I'll see some of you in the World Cup Trading Championship. Please chat me up. Chat me up. Oh, chat me up. Okay, Chuko Kafo. So this is my phone number. Chat me up if you have any other question. Just chat me up for your question. Chat me up. We are out of time here. So thank you guys for tuning in. The giveaway will be just drop account numbers. I'll select randomly. This one is randomly. All right, so come. Chat me up if you have any question. And in the group. Just chat me up. All right, we've come to an end of this. You're not in the group. Just send me a message. Let me add you. Send me a message. Send me a message. I'll add you up to the group. Send me a message. You can do it now.